I just saw news that um Alfred Molina is actually returning as Doc Ock in
Yeah,
the new
I
Spider-Man
saw that
movie.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
We go.
Yep.
Sorry guys. 3, 2, 1. We are live.
Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Chichuki. He's got hosting duties this week because CHRONOZ is sick. So we got our lovely panel. Sorry, I have the old video behind me. We got Awakened Bacon,
Hey, guys. So happy to be here.
Kotetsu,
What's going on, everyone?
CHRONOZ.
What's up, guys? Feeling great.
And me, Chichuki. You're stuck with me as MC this week. So let's see who's got topics. Kotetsu, what do you got?
Oh man.
Who else? It was one of two people. It was either me or Awakened Bacon to start with.
No, I mean I can talk about something that
if you don't want to, I can. You want me to start?
No. I have something I can talk about.
You always have something to talk about.
Today it was a trying day today. So that's why I was like, when we do what we're gonna do today, I'm just gonna chill. But it's a little change of plan today. So I do have something though. I think it'll segue to one of your topics. It might segue to one of your topics.
Let's see.
The indie world. I just want to talk about one game in particular. Is the Ninja Turtles, which I'm really excited about. It's one of those games that definitely gives you that nostalgic feeling of playing Turtles in Time. And everything looks amazing. I can't wait for it. And I just want a freaking release date so I can just give them my money already.
It's like they're dragging their feet a lot on this Switch release date and release date in general on it.
Yeah, because then they announced like a month. I feel like no, it's like a couple weeks ago.
It was like a month. It was like a month ago when we first got, I think, word of it that nobody knew if it was going to be on Switch or not.
It's the Shredder's Revenge, right? That's the one.
Yeah, I thought when I first heard it, I thought it was a fan game, and I was like, oh, okay. But then when you actually see a trailer for it, you're like, oh, dude, this is actually something, and it looks really good. And it's probably this one's definitely going on. Yeah, this one will definitely be played on my Switch, and I'm just waiting for the date. I'm just like, yo, give me a release date already.
Well,
so I can put money on it.
I'm hoping they give us online multiplayer because with multiplayer games like this, in the past they've screwed up and not given us online multiplayer. They're giving you couch co-op because they want you to play in the same room. But a game like this, you need to have online multiplayer.
You really do. I mean, just like the original Turtles, Turtles in Time, and then the arcade. I think when they made ports of those, they were ultimately put on online play. I like this because it looks a whole lot like exactly like the 80s Turtles. Like it's not the the newer stuff, and they didn't try to make it look like the Nickelodeon series or anything like that.
Which I'm glad. I wasn't a big fan. I like the arts. I like the style. It is very anime style, which is cool. I couldn't sit through the show too much. It was too wacky for me. And it was like, okay, I get it. You're appeasing to the kids and everything like that. But I grew up watching the movie and then the show, and in the 2013 Turtles, which was probably my dream version of the Turtles.
There was things I loved about it and things that I wish were a little bit better, but those two movies were definitely better because they finally had Bebop and Rocksteady, in one of them. But when you compare it to
those movies, okay,
those movies, the Michael Bay movies.
Oh, I'm thinking of the original.
Me too. That's why I was at first. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, when you said Bebop and Rocksteady, I'm like,
I was like, wait a minute, Bebop and Rocksteady weren't in
I was like,
movie?
Don't you mean
Razor and
Token Razor?
Token Razor,
yeah. I didn't agree with that. I thought it should have been Bebop and Rocksteady back then. But yeah, the 2013 Michael Bay ones, they brought in, Sheamus was one of them, and I'm a wrestling fan.
That was cool. I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, not bad.
It was cool to bring him in, and I liked it. I liked those movies. A lot of people panned on them because they didn't follow
the trend of what they should be.
Yeah, some sort of formula, but I thoroughly enjoyed both of those movies, especially better than the second and third of the original three.
I liked all three of the older ones. The third,
Really?
I liked all three of the third. Yeah, I liked all three of them. I did.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah, well, the first two are fine. The third movie is not good.
Yeah, I mean, like I liked them. I liked all three of them. Not as I can say. The first one is my favorite one, is the best one. Second one was good. Third one didn't equate to the first and second, but to me, I thought it was still cool. I thought it was a fun time to watch, and even to go back and watch it again. I had high hopes for the newer ones that came out. I liked the first one. I felt like it was limited. It wasn't as enough. This is what I thought about the first. The first one was great because it's like they're bringing back the turtles in this new way. It's still sort of live action, but the turtles are CG, which to me, I was like, okay, that's a good idea because you could probably do more with it. For me, this has always been the formula before they fight Shredder, is like they have this huge fight with the foot, and it's just, it's just really cool. They didn't do it this time. They didn't do it on the first one, because the first one, they were all mercenaries. They weren't ninjas. They were mercenaries. And I was like, that's kind of a way to go, but okay. And you didn't really get that. And then the second one, I'm like, okay, they're actual ninjas now. So we're going to have this huge foot versus turtles ninja thing. And we didn't get it. And we got a final fight with Krang. But it just felt like it was just a skirmish. Like it wasn't, anything too memorable, but all in all, but I enjoyed them for what they were. I was glad that they are coming back. I heard they're gonna reboot it again. They're gonna go back to I heard they're gonna go back to the original kind of format, how they had the turtles, but nothing's set in stone though.
Sorry, Bacon. How old is the second movie in that Michael Bay realm?
The first one came out in 2014.
Yeah, and then the second one was 2016.
Okay.
I think it was 16. Yeah, it was 16, because that's around when I started my YouTube channel. So it was 2016.
Okay. The first one in that series, I don't have a problem with. There are some minor things that I have an issue with. The main thing, if I remember, is that they were treated like aliens in the movie, and that didn't sit well with me. And that they were huge, which was another one that that didn't sit with me right. And then the second part is when they changed Leonardo and Splinter's voice actors, right, at the time, like a month before they brought Johnny Knoxville in.
Yeah,
did they? I didn't even know that.
For the first movie, it was Johnny Knoxville for the whole entire movie. The second movie, the guy who was in the suit played Leonardo, like his voice. But in the first one, he played Leonardo in the suit, but Johnny Knoxville voiced Leonardo in the entire movie.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a problem with them changing the voice actor. I have a problem with them doing it so close to like actual release date on the film, which usually is a sign, because you can tell like, this movie is not going to be good if they change voice actors like a month before release. Because
you can tell. It was funny because like I said, the guy who wore the suit didn't voice Leo in the first movie. He just had the suit. But the second movie, he voiced him this time, which it wasn't a problem. I mean, you can obviously tell that it wasn't Johnny Knoxville voicing Leo in the second movie, but yeah, that was that. And it's funny that you brought up the alien thing, because I want to say in 2012, 2013, they announced that they're going to reboot Ninja Turtles. And their original story plot was the turtles were aliens. And they were aliens and came down to Earth with Splinter. And April found them and and all that. And then people saw that, and people were pissed because, like, yo, you're destroying the entire story arc of who they are and their lineage and what they come, because following the suit, you know, Master Splinter was a pet of Oroku's. No, was Amato Yoshi, and he learned from Amato Yoshi. But then I think in the comics or in the old school movie, in the old school, okay, so in the old school shows and the movies, I think in the movies he trained with Amato Yoshi, but in the show he is Amato Yoshi. Like he was a human, he transformed into the rat form. But Amato Yoshi was in the realm, was in that realm. So I don't think anyone had a problem with. I don't think so. I don't think anyone had a problem with it. It was still, they still all learned martial arts from there. But Michael Bay was gonna scrap that and just be like, yo, they're just these aliens who come down who know martial arts already. And then April finds them, and then there's Shredder, and then that's it. And then everyone was like, no, you guys aren't gonna destroy this story by doing that.
No. Michael Bay pisses me off sometimes.
He ruins like almost everything he touches.
Everything. I mean, add some color to the freaking Transformers. Okay, that's what.
Yeah, they're so black.
Yeah. And you know,
they're so black.
They were so black. And I mean, I guess it's too early to talk about Godzilla versus King Kong, but without giving away any spoilers, the final boss in that movie, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that looks like a Michael Bay Transformer.
But I'm not gonna lie, I did get hyped when I saw that. I even said I hope this happens, and then it did, and I was like, this is what I wanted.
Usually with those, they are so easy to tell what's gonna happen at the end of those movies.
Yeah, that one threw me a little bit. I didn't know. I wasn't aware until you did see it, and you're like, dude, that's awesome. But yeah, that's my hope for. I know it's gonna be good. This is the same developers that did Streets of Rage and Streets Race 4.
Yeah,
and Streets Race 4 did phenomenal. I'm playing through it again right now, and so I have high hopes for this one.
Did they?
I have high hopes for this.
Did they do Scott Pilgrim also?
The developer or the publisher?
I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
I forget if dot emu or dot whatever.
Yeah.
Part of
yeah.
it.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I'm looking. I don't see it.
No, it was Ubisoft, because Ubisoft originally did the game, and they published it. So I think they just re-released it on the modern console.
Because the publisher who puts out the game is Dotemu.
Okay,
yeah.
The developer, you know, who makes the game, Tribute Games, which I've never heard of, so I guess that's what makes it indie. They've just really have Panzer Paladin, this game, and a game called Steel Assault under their belt.
Oh, that's right, they do have that too.
Yeah. So they are truly an indie developer, which I can totally get behind because I'm kind of a fan. One of my favorite things to do is to dig around and find like little indie gems that a lot of people haven't, maybe heard of, that you can bring to light that are, it's like I've been playing the Night of the Dead now for almost a year, and it comes from a super indie developer, it's like three people. And published by them, so it's Jack 2 Studios. That was a good find for me. But when I go through Panzer Paladin, sounds familiar. I don't think I've played it though.
It's it was released. I've heard of it. I don't know if it was this year.
It was not. I don't think it was this year. I think it was last
2020.
year.
July 21st, 2020.
It's a
okay, wow.
It's more of a future 2D side scroller.
Yeah, it's like it looks super retro though. It's a super retro looking game. Super retro.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now. As far as retro, they do have the cutscenes that are animated nicely, but the gameplay looks straight and not even SNES. It totally NES looking graphics, which is pretty cool. I'd play this.
Yeah, and then Steel Assault, they had a demo for it not too long ago, and I played it and I enjoyed it. That was really fun. But yeah, I have high hopes. They, when it comes to side scrollers, I don't play too many, but or side scroller beat 'em ups. I don't play too many anymore, but you know, Streets of Rage was really fun, and then I'm looking forward to Ninja Turtles being exactly that. And I'm sure they'll add online. I'm sure they'll add it.
Well, you can't play that many because there aren't that many, and if there are that many, they're terrible.
Yeah, some of them are bad.
So,
you know, but when you come to like side scroller, like retro looking side scrollers, I mean, there's, you know, Hollow Knight is is one.
I want to get
action
into
side
yeah,
scroller, but
into Hollow Knight. I've been meaning to.
a lot of people love it. Shovel Knight.
I love Shovel Knight.
And what is that? Terraria, where it's kind of like a Minecraft side scroller, kind of actiony kind of.
I have friends who are heavily into that.
I can't stand that thing.
I don't love it. I don't love it. I tried to get into it, and it's just because so many people come to me and be like, "Play this with me." I'm like, "Okay, let's try it." Not, I mean, so many people, but a few people have come and been like, "Hey, let's, play this," and I've given it a shot. I'm like,
It's like a Minecraft light, basically, where there are zombies that attack you at night. And because I reviewed it on the Wii U a long time ago and didn't do anything for me.
Nah, it didn't. I gave it a good, week or so where I was playing with a group of people, and I'm just like, I'm not enjoying myself. So I'm out. I'm out.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, this Still Assault looks a lot like the previous one we said, Panzer Assault, or what was it called? Panzer Paladin.
There's two. I think they redid Steel Assault. Like I think Steel Assault was an old there was a first version of Steel Assault, it looks like. That's what it looks like. And then they redid Steel Assault again to make it look a little bit more modernized with the colors and everything.
That's interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, I played the demo. The demo was actually I don't think they have it up anymore.
They probably don't.
Because it was during a time where they had this festival where they had all the developers put up their demos, and that's when I was able to download it and try it. And it was actually really fun.
They did. I remember that.
It was actually really fun.
Now, which game are you talking about right now?
Steel Assault.
Oh yeah, I see it on here on Steam, and it says planned release 2021.
Yeah, because they had some kind of Steam festival, and they had all the developers who were part of it put their demos up for their games, and that was one of them. I ended up downloading it. I don't know if it'll still work, but I ended up downloading it, and I played it, and I had a good time. It was good.
Yeah, I totally play this. I was looking at it because, so Steel Assault was published by Tribute Games. Okay. Panzer Paladin was developed and published by Tribute Games. And then the Turtles game was just developed by Tribute Games. So I need to look more into these guys and see what.
I think Ninja Turtles is published. I think the developer is
Dotemu
or whatever.
Yeah. They were the Tribute Games they were the developer. The publisher was Dotemu.
Yeah. However,
that's interesting. That's neat. You don't see that too much. The developer and the publisher, first of all, being the same. Unless it's a really indie project, but how they kind of switch roles depending on the game. That's cool.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my topic.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm looking forward to that.
I can build off that a little bit. The indie direct. It wasn't nothing really spectacular was in it. There were a couple of games that I saw that were like, oh, maybe I could get into that. One was that Aztec Warriors.
Oh yeah,
that looked pretty cool. And then the one that they just slipped in was the House of the Dead remake, and that's got me excited.
I saw that, and I was like, this can't be the same House of the Dead I'm thinking about, is it? And it was, and I was like, oh snap, okay, we haven't seen House of the Dead in like forever.
We haven't seen House of the Dead since the Wii days when they had the House of the Dead 2 and 3 returns on Wii.
Did you ever see the movies?
I've tried to sit through some of the movie.
I avoided them. I avoided them altogether.
I'm telling you, when we were talking about the movies a couple of weeks ago, I brought up the director, Hugh Bowl, and everybody was kind of like, oh, name sounds familiar. He's the one responsible for all these crappy video game movies. House of the Dead, Postal, Far Cry.
They did do Far Cry, huh?
Oh yeah, they did.
And Blood Rain, which I thought was
And
a
they
great
did do
video
Blood
game.
Rain too. I remember that.
Two
I
of
remember
them.
Blood Rain.
Who keeps giving
remember
this
that.
man money to make video game movies?
Well, there are plenty of stupid people in marketing and business and whatever. I mean, the director of the Hulk got 2 chances. I mean, the horrible Hulk movie at the beginning, the first one.
The
first one, yes.
I forget what his
the first.
What?
I know the actor.
Oh, that was Bana. Eric Bana was the actor. The director, Ang Lee.
Oh,
yes, Ang Lee. Yes.
And he didn't know. He'd never heard of the Hulk. He did until they gave him that job. He had no idea what the Incredible Hulk was. But there was one thing he did do right, and it's something that a lot of people maybe miss in the movie because overall it's kind of a crap movie. But it's one of the he took the ability of the Hulk where he gets stronger
as he takes damage, right?
As he takes damage.
Yep.
Which was seen when he fought the dog monsters.
Yeah, when he kept getting bigger, he was getting bigger and bigger and bigger as these things kept chomping on him. I remember that.
Yeah. So that was the only cool thing about that movie. You know, and they still count Ed Norton's the Incredible Hulk as canon in the MCU.
Yeah, they do, but they don't. But yeah, they do. They do. I thought that one was. It was okay. It was better than the other one.
Hulk movie.
It was better than the last one. I can compare that. I can say that it was better than the last one.
When you look at the pool of Hulk movies there are to choose from, you know, that's definitely the best one.
No, it's by far one of the
best
Hulk movies.
Yeah, but yeah.
Is that a Diet Coke you're drinking, Awaken?
It's a Coke Zero, bro.
Not Coke.
Can you send that through virtually? We'll just grab it.
Yeah, you want some? There you go.
You have a Coke already that you're drinking, aren't you?
Mine. I need another one, but
oh man.
All right, how about this? Worst Marvel movie. Now we're talking about Marvel movies. Worst one.
Worst one.
Oh hell. Freaking
wait. Go ahead.
Well, okay, go.
No, you go ahead. I'm thinking real quick. I gotta.
Daredevil.
Yeah, all right. I can.
I'll give it to you. Daredevil. And then they. I was gonna say Elektra, by the way. Where did Elektra come from? Daredevil. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Daredevil was the play.
Awful movies.
I would have said
because
Elektra.
at first, when you said Marvel, I just for some reason I went down all the superhero things and I said, oh, Catwoman was horrible. But I was like, wait, Catwoman's DC, so that no. Even though it was a bad superhero movie, that's not Marvel. Okay. Then I said Elektra. I said, wait, but where's Elektra spawned from? Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Daredevil was horrible.
Yeah.
I would have to go with because there's a lot of.
I got a couple.
Because technically, Kingsman is a Marvel movie.
That's what I heard.
And those are good movies. I like them. If I had to go with probably my least favorite would have been, especially the second Fantastic Four movie.
Oh my god!
Was just something I fell asleep. To this day, I haven't finished that movie.
You mean the ones that they did with Chris Evans and Jessica Alba? And
really?
Garbage.
Yeah. So no, not the first. The first one was fine. The first one I liked it. It was a little bit campy, had some humor in it. I dug it. The second one I couldn't get into, and I didn't even bother with the third one. I watched or the third one that had those other guys.
That was bad. You know how long they took with that story? That story was so long. I was so glad I didn't see it in the movies, but then I saw it when it came on cable, and I said, this is like a waste of 2 hours because you guys took so long with everything. And then towards the end, that's when everyone's like, cool, I know how to use this. I know how to use this. And Victor Von Doom is a thing now. And I'm like, so you guys took an hour, 2 hours just to get to this point. And I was just like, you guys. And then like, oh, what are we going to call ourselves? And you see 4. I'm like, wow, okay.
We're pretty fantastic. Because I saw the very end of it.
So we're going to call ourselves. And you see Michael B. Jordan's version of Johnny Storm do a 4. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally watched the last 15 minutes of it just because I heard that was the only part of the movie that was worth watching.
Yeah,
So the end.
Yeah, yeah,
it really was.
That's like 20 where they go into that the alternate place and they
And go
kind of
fight Victor
fight
Von
Doom,
Doom.
and
Yeah,
it doesn't really work out, and then I don't know, man.
They have never known how to make a good Fantastic Four movie. They have no idea what they're doing. The first one with Michael Chiklis and all that, I love Michael Chiklis as the Thing.
I do too.
That's my guilty pleasure. I love him as the Thing. That's the only good thing about those Fantastic Four movies.
He did it good, yeah. He
did there are two other ones that I could throw out there, and one will probably be maybe agreed upon. The other one, I don't know. Age of Ultron, I hate. I can't stand Age of Ultron.
I love Age of Ultron.
I thought it was good.
That was the one that I thought was going to get.
I thought Age of Ultron was good.
I can't sit through Age of Ultron. I think it's a waste of time. And Venom.
Okay, I agree with you with Venom. I think Venom shouldn't even happen. I think Venom shouldn't happen.
My dad had knee surgery, and I was watching Venom when I was keeping an eye on him in the hospital. It is one of the worst movies I have ever seen.
It was fine. I mean, it wasn't good, but it was fine.
It was an unnecessary thing, but I remember someone telling me, I don't know if it was you guys or someone else, they said they did Venom because they were losing Spider-Man, so they needed a character that would kind of keep that.
The downfall to that is that making a Venom movie without Spider-Man is just
do it, because then because if you think about it, Venom wasn't anything. There's a couple of stories. There's the regular story and there's the ultimate. I think the regular story is like he came from a meteorite and then he went to Spider-Man. Spider-Man got black suit, and then Spider-Man dissed the black suit, and then it went to Eddie, and Eddie became that one. Ultimate series is, and I think it's the same thing, Eddie and Peter's dad worked on something that would cure cancer, and it became the symbiotic thing. So that's how Peter's able to use it, and that's how Eddie's able to use it, and that's how they're linked together because their father's DNA are a part of that suit. So they know where the other one is, no matter who's wearing the suit, they know because they have a different kind of sense with it. It's this, they're like Peter's spider sense is different. It's more intense. So that's when he knows that it's more intense like that. That's how he's like, okay, freaking Venom's like down the street. He's coming this way. But
he's down the street. That's funny.
But what they did with this one, it was like
it just like showed up.
Yeah, it was.
Well, okay. Here's a theory that I want to talk about real quick. Okay, so there was the movie and before, because this is kind of a theory that people kind of talked about, but there is a connection because there was a movie called Life that had Ryan Reynolds, is that his name? Deadpool. Mm-hmm. And a few other people. They were out in space. They found a life form that reacted a whole lot like what you'd think like a little piece of venom would react like, and they were like, oh, what's this? And it started infecting them. And a lot of I've not seen the movie. I'm going by the trailer, but it was called Life. And the expedition they were on was called Life. It was like the ship was called that. Okay. So at the beginning of the Venom movie, there was a crashed ship. There was one survivor that turned out to be infected by the symbiote, and it was the one that went around everywhere, killing people or absorbing their power. But the ship that crashed, clearly on the side was written the word life. So
that's a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah. So was it connected in some way and they just didn't bother to tell us? I don't know even if there's a connection between the movie people, the movie companies that put it out, but I always thought that was really interesting.
Oh, I thought I've seen this movie. I'm looking at a trailer right now. I thought I've seen it. It's with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
My issue with Venom is always that there's like multiple stories on how Venom, like the space symbiote or whatever they were calling it got to like New York City in the first place, and then Carnage just shows up from that same technically the same entity, and it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Well,
like
was it from the same entity? Like, was it from Venom became like, and then there was a Carnage? I always thought they were two different.
There's a whole bunch of
different in one theory there is,
but there's a whole bunch like
because when they're like 7 at some point.
Sorry. Yeah, I think with Carnage they said there's for me I've heard two different ones. There's Ultimate, like I said, there's Ultimate, and then there's the other one. With Ultimate, it's like Peter was infected with it, which made Carnage, and then Carnage left Peter, and then that. But then there's another one where there's like this serial killer who just killed everybody. He went by the name Carnage, and I forgot his name. But then they say that he originated. He has that symbiotic thing, which is Carnage, but no one knows how the hell he got it.
But it wasn't Cletus Cassidy.
I don't know. I forgot. Like it's just like Chichuki said. There's so many stories behind Venom and Carnage that it's hard to kind of stick with one. But you can't do it without Spider-Man because he's the epicenter of all of that. So you can't say, oh, here's Venom. He's gonna do this, and I want to be an anti-hero. Well, fool, you weren't an anti-hero when you started. You killed everybody before you started, and then, only then. And this is the story. It's funny. I was on my lunch break one time on my old job. This is when Venom was coming out. I said, I want to know the backstory of Venom. I want to know more than what I already know. And if you remember the movie, Eddie was like, I don't want to kill people anymore. Venom's like, okay, fine. It's like, okay, that's not how it happened.
Yeah. No, it's not.
That's not happened. Venom was the driver. Eddie was the freaking passenger. Venom didn't let Eddie do whatever he wanted, when he wanted to. Venom was like, all right, cool. You only get a break if I let you, but I still have the reins. Like, you rarely saw Eddie. If you saw Eddie, it was Venom who's using Eddie's body.
Yeah.
So Venom was trying to kill Peter all the time. And he's come close, but he's always failed. Then there was a point in time where Venom and Eddie were like, you know what? We can't beat him. So what are we gonna do? They're like, all right, I guess we can try the superhero thing. And that's when they only decided that when they said, we can't beat Peter, we can't beat Spider-Man. Well, what else are we gonna do? Might as well help. And then they helped. And then, and going a little bit further than that, Eddie lost the suit. He lost Venom. He lost the suit. And it went to, if you guys remember,
Flash Thompson. But
Flash Thompson is the only person who was able to control it 100%. He's the only person. If you see Agent Venom, that's Flash. He's the only person who was ever able to control the symbiote 100%.
Yeah, Agent Venom. I actually got that title for a little bit, and he went off and joined the Guardians of the Galaxy for a minute.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the reason that it was imperative that Venom and Flash Thompson, because Flash Thompson was paralyzed from the waist down, and Venom made it possible for him to walk.
Yeah, but Flash is the only person who could turn it on and off. Only person.
I mean, I feel like in the 90s, when you just had like a couple of tellings of these things, it was easier to stay in like canon for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching Spider-Man on Fox Kids, and basically it was part comic book of Spider-Man, but it was like, this is how we're going to do it. We're not going to jump ship until they decided, okay, we're not going to have Spider-Man on anymore. They went to like Spider-Man Unlimited or whatever the series was after Spider-Man, and it was abysmal. It's like in the future, that type of shit. And, but the
2099 series?
No, it was still Peter. It was still Peter.
It was like some makeshift Peter Parker that looked younger than Peter Parker did in the original show.
wasn't it? I thought it was Peter got thrown into the future.
It was like it was more like a multiverse, I think, thing where he was thrown into the future or something, but they didn't
or like
tell
some
that much
weird
about it.
Yeah, it was like it was either, I think it was either future or like some alternate reality of where some old like some multiverse where there was no Spider-Man or Spider-Man was gone, but that Peter went. Oh, that's right. I think it was him and Venom traveled. I think it was like an alternate universe or alternate time. And then what there was no, I don't think there was a Spider-Man, and I think Venom already did damage or whatever. I think Venom like jumped ship early, so he like already destroyed that timeline, and then Peter ended up landing in the timeline that was already destroyed. So then he joined the Resistance that was trying to fight against that. I think that's how.
Yes,
I think that's how it went.
That does sound familiar. But I didn't watch it that much. I think it only lasted a season when they were.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. The concept was there, but it was they executed it. The execution wasn't great.
I mean, Spider-Man on Fox, it was a good show. It was a good
I thought so.
Cartoon. I mean, they stayed true to a lot of stuff. I assume they stayed true to a lot of stuff, but most of the Spider-Man's lore I know is from that animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I only watched it in the early days. So like when we talk about stuff that happened later on, like, like I think I watched the first season of it. So anything happened past that is like
you're just
news to me. Idea. So I'm listening to you guys going, what?
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's like you had the Sinister Six, you had the multiverse realm stuff, which was kind of like, I felt like they were running out of ideas at that point because they dragged on the multiverse stuff. But
that was with Madam Web, right? When Madam Web had
Madam Web, what the hell?
And then he becomes like Man Spider or something.
Yeah,
like later on and shit.
Yeah, like
I remember that in the comics. In the comic books.
I think in the animated series, some dude infected him and thought it was gonna kill him, but instead it like mutated him and went horribly wrong
or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
I thought they were trying to cure him.
They were
turn him back to normal, and then this Man Spider thing happened. He sprouted more arms.
Yeah, I think the Lizard was trying to help him cure his Man Spider thing. No, what was that, Dr. Connors?
Yeah, because he was probably the only person. Because he's dealt with that before with himself.
But yeah, was there anything else in the mini direct that we wanted to talk about before we move on?
In the Marvel movies, like all the X-Men United was horrible. I mean, did anybody like that movie? Did anybody like it?
I don't remember that.
I don't even remember either.
You don't remember?
I don't remember. It was that's probably how bad it was. I don't remember X-Men.
It was X-Men 3.
That was 3, right?
It was X3, X-Men United.
Yeah.
The first time they attempted to do the
Dark Phoenix saga,
which was so bad. Both times they've tried to do it has been bad. The one that came out
recently, that solely on her.
Anytime they try to do like the Dark Phoenix stuff, they fail.
That needs to be a 3-movie trilogy, like Dark Phoenix, and go from there. Not make it one stop in the X-Men movies trilogy series or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, there's more to it.
Here's oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's another one that they tried to do on the animated side of things, and it went okay. But that was another one where they were like, we were probably running out of ideas, so they're going to run the series dry, and that's the last thing they were going to do.
And I think that's okay. If you don't have any ideas, then just end it off on a good note, and then wait until you have something else. We're like, oh well, we can just do another X-Men series, another Spider-Man. You don't have to drag on this. I think it's perfectly okay if you run everything dry. You're like, all right, cool. We did everything we could, and it's always been a hit. So why not just leave it as that at that? But you know how it is. It's money.
Honestly, I think it's semi-impossible to run the comic books dry just because they have like years and years of material.
Yeah.
Especially with the X-Men animated series in the 90s. I mean, they were on top for so long.
So good.
And they didn't take full advantage of it. It's like what they do, like 7 seasons, maybe. I don't might be pulling that out of my
and
ass,
then
but
and then they did like X-Men Evolution, which was more of like
that
it
wasn't bad.
yeah.
I think there was only four or five tops of the original run of the X-Men series in the 90s, I think.
I'm like looking it up right now. Oh, that's
Animated
anime.
series.
I went to anime.
Fox Kids. Let's see. It looks like it went 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're season 5. Yeah,
92 to
And that's it.
97.
Yep. Mhm.
So
But it was good. Like, oh, my cousin loved X-Men back then. Like, that's all he was about was freaking X-Men.
Dude, I loved it. I loved the X-Men so much in comic book form. And then when I found out that they were finally making a cartoon series, like a legit, because if anybody remembers, they made a one-off and it was like 1988, 1989. I had the VHS. Wolverine had like a New Zealander accent for some reason. Shoot, who was the Magneto, of course, was the bad guy. It was animated poorly, but it does exist. If I find it, I'll show you guys.
yeah, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it was really weird. It had like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, so you had Toad, but not Toad from like we remember him in the movie, but Toad from the 80s comic book series where he looked like he was almost from medieval times, with the collar and stuff. And who else was in that? Pyro. It was good because there wasn't anything else like it before, but it was only a one-shot 30-minute cartoon that they did, before the X-Men, which was, pretty cool. But then when, in the late 90s, when you heard that they were actually making an X-Men movie, they were actually putting it all together and making a legitimate X-Men movie with, 1999, 2000 technology. I was all on board. I went to the movie theater and saw that 4 times.
Did you really?
I did. I loved it. The first one, great stuff. Second one, on some level, even better.
I agree.
And then they just completely lay a big steamer right on our chest with the third one.
I think that's how it always is. I think like the third one is just like, I'll say this about Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie that was released, it was great. Spider-Man 2 was really good.
Agreed. Even better.
Spider-Man 3 was just like, they botched it 100%. And I think the reason for me, they did too much. Let's give Black Suit Spider-Man, let's do Sandman, let's do Hobgoblin, let's do Venom at the end, and they all just come together. And it's like you have too many stories in here.
Yeah.
And it's not because each villain has some kind of personal thing with Spider-Man. So you can't just Sandman was what was his name?
Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
Wait. Who was playing that one? He was a black actor. He was playing a famous guy. He was playing another.
Jamie Foxx was
Jamie Foxx,
Electro.
in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Supposedly he's playing his same role again now.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard too.
Yeah, in the next Spider-Man movie. I never saw any of the Amazing Spider-Man.
Because what they're doing is they're trying to do the multiverse thing. They're trying to do multiverse. So you're hearing all these older actors come back. It's like who played these older villains. They're trying to do the multiverse thing, which is okay because there is technically a multiverse in Spider-Man, but I don't know if they're all Peter Parker. From what I know, they're all different Spider-Man. Like everyone, there's a couple. There's like Ultimate Spider-Man, which is Peter. Then there's the Amazing Spider-Man, and the Spectacular, and then I think after that, then it's just like, okay, there's Miguel O'Hara as 2099, Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales. So, but I get what they're trying to do, and I think it's something to see. We're gonna see it. They said holiday 2021, so I'm actually happy about that.
I think if it's not done with decent writing and anything, when you bring old characters back into a new movie, it will fail.
Tobey Maguire is going to be 46 years old this year.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But and that's what worries me. I think they're going back to they're going back to where they're going to be doing too much. If this is not a 2-hour movie, it's not gonna. It's because you're bringing in 2 other Spider-Men in the MCU, and they have their own things, I guess. You know,
Does Marvel
so
know how to make a movie less than 2 hours?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
That's what I'm saying. Like this has to be a 2-hour movie, or 2-hour movie, or if you're gonna do like a Zack Snyder thing and be like, yo, we're gonna release a 4-hour movie and put it on Disney Plus.
or we're gonna release a shit movie, pray that we get picked up by a streaming service, and that allows us to show 8 hours of the movie, and then it's good.
Right.
But
I've still not seen the Snyder cut. I
haven't had a chance to
sit down and watch it.
It's good. But yeah, I think Spider-Man 3 was just too much. When they brought back with Ed, I thought Andrew Garfield played a good Spider-Man for what they were trying to do in Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man was good. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was great. And I think they set it up perfectly for Sinister Six. But then that whole thing with Sony and Marvel and Disney screwed that whole thing up.
It's usually what happens.
Andrew Garfield lost a job, and Sinister Six is gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it.
Because the Rhino,
Rhino
just popped in there at the end, right? Like, you know,
yeah, because technically he was in the beginning, like the first 10 minutes he was there.
Oh, okay.
And then he comes back with the suit. But then it wasn't just like he had it. If you watch the end, they set it up to where you see Doc Ock's arms, you see Vulture's wings, and I think you see something else there too. So it was set up to be, and then at the end of the first movie, someone went to go talk to Doc Connors, and I don't know if that was supposed to be Norman Osborn. I don't know who that was supposed to be with that talk to Doc Connors. And then I think that same person talked to Harry Osborn at the end of that movie, and then you see the Sinister Six's gear, and you're like, dude, this is freaking Sinister Six. Amazing Spider-Man 3 is gonna be Sinister Six. And that kind of makes me think, do you think that they're bringing back all these old characters and all these old villains? Do you think they're going to pull off Sinister Six in this next movie?
I don't know if it's going to be this movie, but I mean, they have the Vulture, they have Mysterio, which, you know.
Well, technically he's dead. He's technically dead.
Somebody else can put the fishbowl on their head, and
no one dies in comic book movies.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's Mysterio, so he could have straight up still faked that and still did the whole thing at the end. But I don't know, because if you think about it, like you said, they have Vulture, they have Doc Ock, Electro.
Yep, who's coming back, and
they might give us Rhino. We don't know. Rhino might come out of nowhere.
He could show up at the end of this one and maybe have a Sinister Six maybe in the fourth movie.
Yeah, I don't know. They could do a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like they're doing so much, but if they can pull it off, they can do something that hasn't been done in the trilogy of 3 Spider-Man movies. That's only been 1.
Honestly, have they shown you anything to say that they could pull it off?
Hell no, but I'm hoping. I'm still praying. I'm still praying.
It's all about long-term stories.
Anyway, I think but going back to what you said, Chichuki, about the indie world, I don't think there was anything. Oh, but there was one. I think it's called Never Yield. It's like, I don't know if you remember that. It was by an indie developer. It was like him. His story was like, I downloaded the demo. I think his story was he tried to get it published, but he couldn't from anyone. Everyone kept denying him, but he ended up making the game anyway. And then now it was on the Indie World Direct.
Okay.
That one looks cool. I like that. I'm a big fan of hip hop in video games, but let me clarify. Anything that doesn't resemble any 90s hip hop and a little bit and older, and they put in video games, I'm not with it because it just never sounds right. I think 90s hip hop and just how it's put together and how it just always sounds, it's always good. I think that always works in video games, but anything newer, no, it just doesn't work.
Well,
Because it's the same.
2000s hip hop is useless. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's be real here. But not get bacon.
They'll be saying this exact same thing in 2035 to 2045.
Probably, but I thought about this too. I was like, okay, this is probably what my dad said, but like I watched the just off topic a little bit. I watched a documentary. It was called it was on Netflix. It was about how hip hop began, and just to watch that documentary, see where it came from, and to see where it went. Excuse me, and to see where it was amazing. Everyone had different styles. Everyone wrote differently. And it was one of those things where it's like, you can tell who who you're listening to just by listening to him. Well, that's Exhibit. Why? Because he sounds like us. Jay-Z could sound like that. That's because everyone had different styles. Now it's like, you can't tell who's who because everyone sounds the same.
Damn, that's true.
That's very
That's
true.
so true.
Like, you can't tell who's who because everyone has the same. There's no, you can't tell. So then you can't really fall in love with it because like everyone sounds exactly. There's no different styles. No one has certain wordplay that you can tell. It's that's just what it is. So that's why I'm like, I like the music from the 90s down when it comes to hip hop. There's some artists now that are not mainstream that resemble that, and I listen to them. But anything mainstream that doesn't resemble, like, I'm not with it. I told someone once, they tried to give me a demo tape. I was like, I don't listen to hip hop. And he like had the weirdest confusion. He was like, why?
It's like, what?
And I was like, because it's trash. And I just left. I left him with that.
He left that guy just wondering.
It was trash, man.
He was like, hey, here's the CD. I was like, sorry, I
Hate
don't listen.
those people.
I don't listen. And they were like,
huh?
Why? And it's
What?
like, because music is trash now, man.
Oh,
It's not the
terrible
same.
now.
Like, it's not the ambition is not the same.
There's still
Is it-
some,
okay,
there's some
okay,
good
okay,
music coming out.
Okay, I'm not gonna say not all music is garbage. I listen to a lot of music. I recently
Be nice, Grandpa.
I recently got into country. And the person I was listening to did country was Charles Stapleton. Really,
Okay.
I love his music is amazing. So that's what got me introduced me to it.
Have you ever listened to Sturgill Simpson?
No.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm open to listen to it. I'm open to it.
90% of all music is garbage now. Let's just be real. I'm the host this week. I can say my own opinions the way I want, when I want.
Say whatever he wants.
Okay, Sturgill Simpson. He's coming up. He released his fourth album last year. No, it was late 2019 and into 2020. I actually saw him in concert just before the whole COVID thing, and we couldn't go anywhere. It was the last concert that I saw before the pandemic. His first album was pretty much too country for me. Like, it was too traditional country. And then his second album was called Psychedelic Metronomes in Modern Country, something like that. And that title, that's not the exact title, but that got me. And he had this song called Turtles All the Way Down. He was experimenting with alt lifestyles and states of mind of country singers. And then his third album came out, which was still pretty country, but it was a story. The whole album was a story, kind of like The Wall. Then in 2019, at the very, very end of 2019, an album called Sound and Fury came out, and it was by Sturgill Simpson. And it is straight up some sort of country psychedelic rock fusion that was released simultaneously with a anime on Netflix called Sound and Fury that plays like The Wall, like a story. Like, if you watch it, is like that, because there's no real spoken dialogue, but it plays the album as you watch it, it might still be on Netflix now, and I would suggest just watch it and see what you think, because with the anime and the style of music that he's kind of fused into it, because it's still got country, because his voice is very country, and the instruments are very country, but with the undertones and some of the other stuff that's added to it makes it something completely different. Like if you're on your computer now, like go to Netflix, be like Sound and Fury, and look that stuff up. It is a good time. I've watched it. It's only about an hour long, because it's about the same as the album length. But I've seen it like 45 times. I've literally sat and watched it 45 times. So when you're talking about like new music, it's just it depends on what you're looking at and where you go and what you assume you're going to hear compared to what happens, because there's still people out there that are making amazing music. It's just you got to look for
just drowned out by the fad of whatever the hell this genre is.
The trash.
They say it's trap music, but it's not. It sounds
it's getting drowned out by the trash of 90% of the music, where there's a good 10% of people who actually are talented musicians, and they're not getting on the radio, because we're hearing the same 4 songs on the radio. And who listens to the radio anymore? If I wasn't in my car ever, I would never listen to the radio.
I don't think I've listened to the radio in at least 3 years.
Yeah, it's been about 2 or 3 years for me too.
I think after I discovered SoundCloud and I can find music I like, the radio was non-existent after that.
There's some real interesting stuff on Bandcamp. If you get on there and dig around, because you'll find some of those weird fusions of 2 different types of music, hybrids, sometimes something different altogether. It's like music is, like Chuki said, there's a 90% big old crap pool out there. But if you fish around deep enough in the darkest, dankest crap there is in that pool, you can pull out some beautiful gems that still exist that are made like right now. So
well, I mean, they used to put the decent music, when you actually listen to the radio, used to have a top 10 at lunch or whatever, and they used to play the popular songs at the time. But now, I mean, if you're not in an office having a clock radio on your desk, you're not going to listen to music or anything.
Just to get on one more thing before we leave this topic, I think I was talking to my cousin, and my cousin agreed with this with me too. It's too easy to make music now. Anyone can make music. It wasn't something where it was. And I call it back then, it was the year of whackness. It was like, if you're whack, people would tell you, they would tell you, okay, you suck. But now it's like anyone can do it. And it's like, it kind of takes away what it was back then, because if someone told you suck, you would either try again and perfect it, or you would just give up and just be like, all right, cool. Now it's just like auto-tune and the same, all you need is the same track that everyone else has, the same bass beat, auto-tune, and talk about the same thing, then you'll blow up in like a week. And it's like, geez.
Well, I think people will still tell you that you suck. It's just that the internet now you can do it anonymously, and who the hell's gonna care? I mean, now that I could write a song and put it on YouTube, and somebody could say, "Hey, you suck," and be like, "Okay, that's fine." You still looked at it, you still gave it a thumbs down. But whatever,
that's the thing. It's more accessible now. But the reason I like Never Yield is because they have that fusion of hip hop and jazz, and I like jazz. My dad got me listening to jazz, and I have some artists that infuse hip hop and jazz, which is really cool, and they do that in here, and it just kind of adds to that appeal to me. So
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I like. There's a lot of jazz that I like that I can listen to, and I don't like to be that type of person to be like, I listen to heavy metal, that's all let's do, or I listen to country, and even if those genres really exist anymore. Because
that's true.
Yeah, there's always some kind of genre splitting music that comes to the top, that gets popular, that becomes what you call jazz or what you call, metal or country. It's not the same as it was back in the 90s, for example. It's just different now. Alternative rock really doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't. You don't hear it anymore.
Well,
but is it just called rock now?
No, I think it's still called alternative. It's just
Really?
that the definition of heavy metal and rock has changed to what everything is constituted as alternative, but it's not as what alternative was when growing up in the 90s.
Mhm.
Like you knew what adult contemporary was in the mid 90s as compared to heavy metal and
Yeah.
metal and rock. Now, I mean, I remember last year the nominations for the Grammys came out for rock song. None of the rock songs were rock.
Yeah, I remember
None of them
that.
were metal. It's like,
I
but
remember
they made a
that.
big deal that they were all women, and it's like, okay, that's great, but you're not singing rock music and heavy metal music. So if you want to be a female lead singer, sure, great. I'm not going to take anything away from you from that. I am going to take away that you're putting 5 nominees in a category where it doesn't belong, and somebody's going to win when they don't belong, winning best rock song of the year.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed.
there are good female heavy metal singers.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
100%.
I mean, Lizzie Hale is fantastic from
Yeah.
Hailstorm, and she used to get recognition before she went nuts.
Yeah.
And
And
but now-
I'm going to go there, but Poppy has been coming out with some crazy ass like fusion, borderline death metal or black metal or whatever you want to call it, tunes that also include her little like kind of poppy sound too. So she's fused those two together, but I can't say that she's not a rock star, even though she started out as like this weird kind of alt pop person from YouTube, but she's transformed herself into something else, that I could confidently call, rock.
I mean, it's interpretation. I mean, like everything else, it's like what is considered rock music, what's considered pop music, what's considered rock pop. I mean, we have all new categories of music that we never had. I mean, when I was 20 and like 10, 15 years ago, it's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, we never, in the 90s, did you ever care about J-pop or hear anything about J-pop?
No.
They didn't even
like,
know what that was.
except like
Yeah.
one group that they had a commercial theme on something, and it just so happened that they were the only popular band from Japan at the time that came out for like 2 minutes, and you never heard from them again.
Yeah.
It's just interpretation. I mean, like how
Yeah.
Kotetsu says he doesn't own a Stadia, and he does.
I knew that was coming.
Hey, I had prepared something for this, and I lost it.
Why does this never fail to make me laugh? I mean,
There were games that came out on Stadia this week.
I don't have a rebuttal. I knew you were going to mention that, and I already know what game you're going to mention. Just go ahead and say it.
I don't even remember what they were. What was it? Ease, or was it something similar? I don't remember, but I know.
I remember I got an email today saying, "Hey, for people who have Stadia Pro, you get Resident Evil 7 for free."
That was the one.
I'm like, oh god! I was like, I know I'm gonna hear it today.
So you got an email that
I
says,
almost claimed it. I almost claimed it just in spite of you. Just say, I'm just gonna say, hey, if he brings it up, I'll say I claimed Resident Evil 7.
Hey,
on the Stadia.
If you want to claim Resident Evil 7 on the Stadia, more power to you. That way you can play it when it comes out for you.
Yeah.
I freaking missed it and I hate it. I even had it saved on my Twitch when I was watching that, but Sony did come out and have a demo of The Village, streamed it yesterday, and I completely missed it.
There's another demo coming out though, so you'll have time.
It's like 2 windows, right, or something.
Yeah, there's one. I think it's this. I don't know if it's this weekend or next week or something. They had a couple, and then they had another one in May before they had the initial release. But they have a couple of them coming.
What are we thinking of Village? What are we thinking?
I'm thinking that it's going to be a refreshing change, like a little bit, because they veered in one direction. They kind of got stale up until 7. 7 kind of reignited it as a horror game, and I think with 8 they're trying something a little bit different. It's The Village. We've seen screenshots and stuff. The whole village interacts with the people around it, so I think the actual village is infecting the people. So I mean, how do you escape that? I like it.
Concept. I can see a concept. It's like if you're in the village, you just naturally just lose it. It's not because of anything. It's just whatever the heck is going on in the village, you just catch it.
Is that different enough from 4?
That's what I was gonna say too. I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say
well,
I was gonna mention
I
that
could
too.
say that 4 was not a village; it was a village of people that were infected. But in the village, it's the actual village.
But
Like
it's
it's
just
the buildings, the ground, the trees.
Right.
so it's
right.
just
You
the
know.
setting. It's not like the people and stuff.
Right. The
Yeah.
people are infected, but they're infected because they're within the village, and the village is what is attacking people and infecting people. You're controlling them. You got people with like, trees coming out of the side of their head and shit because they're, that's what got them, and they're controlled by that now. So they're zombies, but it's the actual atmosphere that is the bad guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, did you ever
Yeah, I
remember
think
the
it's
things that people would say in the village of Resident Evil 4, like just some of the Spanish terms? Did you guys ever remember at all?
Mm-mm.
Playing through 4 so many times, you hear somebody just yelling a lot. You hear the same type of phrase will pop up every now and then. It'll be like, "Yo, so what I plus thought." It sounded like it was like that, and I'm like, "What does that mean?" Like, because me being Spanish, I may not know what the hell that was, or the one said what it said, and then I asked someone, "What did it say?" It says they said that they're gonna cut you up like a chicken. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" I was just like, the game was good, but especially when I started understanding what they're saying. When you hear those phrases, I was like, "Shit, I'm scared, man." Just going around and these, besides the freaking guy with the chainsaw was just.
Hey, just shoot him in the head, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
They're remaking that game. Should they really do it or not?
They're remaking everything.
Yeah.
I would totally go get and play a complete remastered version of all those games. I mean, they've already done it with 2 and 3. They kind of did it with 1 a few years previous to all that.
Yeah. I heard they said they were for sure first when 3 came out, I think a month after 3 or after it was announced or released or whatever, they said that there's going to be an 8, but we don't know what 8's going to be. But then they also said that they're going to be remastering 4, giving 4 the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 treatment. And I'm like, okay, that's cool because 4 is already a great game.
I just don't want them to cut none off.
So is the village like a Code Veronica type side story? Is it not in the numbered series?
It's technically it is. Because I remember watching that when it was first announced, and you see Village, and then if you really in that moment, if you look at it, it said 8, and at first I was like, please God, don't let this be Resident Evil 8, and it was, and I was like, damn it, but it's a chronological, it's a part of that chronological order, so it is 8.
Yeah, it will be considered 8, but you never know with these things.
Yeah, because like I said, like when it said Village, and if you look at it in that moment, in like in that quick second, I saw the Roman numeral for 8, and I said, "Oh God, this is gonna be Resident Evil 8." And then they busted out at the bottom. They said Village, Resident. I don't know if it said Village Biohazard or Village Resident Evil. I'm not sure which one.
I think it said the Village Resident Evil, I think.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it said.
Yeah, but
I feel like Chuki might be. That's what I remember seeing. I don't remember seeing the 8 at all. But
but honestly, who's gonna remember it? They're just gonna remember 9-foot-tall vampire chick. Who's gonna remember anything about
that? Seems to be the only thing that they're talking about.
There's so many memes about that. Like God, like they made her. They did that so then.
Of course.
All the simps and everyone could just meme the heck out of
Of course, totally.
And they have.
They have been going nonstop. They could have put the number 8 on her ass and everyone would have been fine with it, But it's like the one I remember seeing a lot of is Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park having his hand on her ass. That's the
I saw that too.
That's the one I remember. That's probably the best done one.
I saw that. Like when he in the movie when he was like laying on that sick triceratops, but then they cut him out.
They did it so good that they moved it right up there. It's fantastic.
I gotta look this up.
But anyway, man, I know Switch had some, or sorry, Chronos had.
No,
some
he
stuff
switched now. He's
said.
sick. He
Hey,
doesn't
real
remember
quick,
his name change.
Before we get into, I wanted to say about a remake that I just heard of. I've been reading a lot about it, and it is being remade. It just seems a little controversial. Is that okay? We've all played. Well, I don't know if we all did, but I loved the heck out of The Last of Us 1. I was both sides. I hated and liked part 2. Didn't like.
Wait a minute. You
Hold on,
liked
stop.
2? I think
Huh?
you're full of shit. You didn't like 2.
No,
I distinctly remember you saying you didn't like part
Yeah.
2.
Okay, I hated
he
2,
didn't
but
like
I did
part 2
the
because
game.
what
The
they did.
gameplay was great.
Yeah, they ruined the end or
graphics
whatever.
was beautiful, but the story was.
I still haven't
shit,
finished it yet.
garbage. So yeah, I
Really?
guess you could say
I thought it was pretty good for what I'm playing. To have Ellie have her own kind of story. I think the story was really about Ellie anyway. She was the only person who was infected who wasn't infected. So I think the story revolved. I think Joel was just kind of, he wasn't the, I don't want to say he was a co-star, but he was the star of it. But I think it really revolved around Ellie.
Yeah, so
and then to see her grow up
you're right.
here, I thought it for some where I'm at, I thought it was pretty good.
I did
too.
hate it. You're
So far,
right.
it's
I
good.
did hate it.
You did.
The gameplay was great. Again, graphics were awesome. Yes, but what I was trying to go to is that they are now remastering part 1 again. A second remaster, but here's the get-go. Here's what they're doing. They're adding to it more story.
I think it's, they said remake. I think it's a remake for PS5. I don't think they're remastering.
So yeah, it is a remake for
PS5.
PS5. But as I kept going into articles, they're still debating on maybe I don't know. Just some articles were saying about expanding a certain story of it. Let's pretend Tessa's story might be somehow expanded. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Was it rumored that they weren't they didn't know if they were going to do it? Like that they just floated the idea of doing it.
I think it's confirmed. I've been hearing it. Yeah, I've been hearing it now. Maybe I think the extra story is they're probably gonna add the DLC part in the beginning and then just cut to Joel after that finishes. Like if you remember the first I think it was a standalone game for Last of Us, where it was Ellie and her friend, where they kind of go into detail of how Ellie became infected, but she's not infected. I don't know if they're just going.
That part 1
I don't know if
flawless.
I don't know if that's going to be added. Maybe that'll be like the first part of the game, and then after that, then you cut to Joel, and you just play the rest of the game out.
Okay.
You make part 2 and just keep Joel alive. That's all I want.
Oh my gosh!
You just want to write that out of history.
Get over the fact that Joel is gone. They did that for a reason, and it worked. It was the best thing they could. I'm sorry. I think it was the best thing they did because it was something you didn't expect. Even though you saw Ellie a lot in the trailers and stuff, you just thought, okay, Ellie's going to be the main character of this one, and Joel's just going to be there. No, they had Joel there, but then they said we're just going to get. It was like a Walking Dead moment where they're like a character you don't think is going to die, they kill off, and you're just like, what the heck just happened?
Is it spoilers that Joel is dead, or is that something that is already like enough time has passed? So everyone should know this.
Enough time has passed where you shouldn't know it. Enough time has passed. If they haven't somehow seen it on YouTube as a thumbnail already, then yeah.
Well, now they just heard Gamerz Realm, reputable source, Kotetsu ruined the movie. Ruined the game.
No, but Switch has said it before, so this is just me reiterating what he said 4 or 5 podcasts ago.
I think that there would be enough. I believe that if they just remaster it and not do any major changes, I would love the remaster of 1. I would be in heaven if they do.
They're gonna ruin this. They're gonna ruin this game. You already know they're gonna ruin it.
At least this is what I'm asking.
I think it's Sony. Sony's making it.
It is Sony.
I'm asking the TV series to keep Joe alive, please.
he's dead already. The show didn't even come out yet. He's dead.
Hey, I think Joel for CHRONOZ, Joel is gonna be like the Metroid thing where he holds out for hope that Joel miraculously comes back from getting his head bashed in.
TV series
also it has no chance of happening then.
That's
The TV series can change so much. I'm with this.
Yeah, So can The Last of Us 3 when they make the game and Joel's never been
exactly.
dead at all.
He's robotic,
Yeah.
right? Robotic leg.
Like,
They'll
Yeah,
have-
part
outta
3
here.
starts out and Joel wakes up. It was all a dream.
They'll have
Part
time
two.
traveling
It was
implemented.
all a
and
dream.
you'll have to
and
collect-
of course, it's going to be people who are going to be like, this isn't canon. Oh, it is because this, and it's like it's just But I think it's Sony that's making them.
Oh, of course.
That's making them do all this stuff. I'm sure Naughty Dog is just like, we did what we did, and we want to focus on the next installment. But Sony's like, yeah, well, there's people who haven't played one who have a PS5, and it's like, well, why don't they just get the PS4 version and play on here? No, we want to make more money, so remake the entire game, and it's just like,
if they remake 3 with anything to do with Abby, I'm done with the series. I'm just gonna cherish part 1. That's it.
Like I mean, I haven't finished 2, so I don't know if there's a possibility of a 3.
Oh, there's always a possibility of a 3rd installment, no matter how the game ends.
5, they want to.
In a logical sense, I'm just gonna say
I'm gonna stop you right there. Logical sense for anything? I mean, come on.
In my logic, and this is me. If I watch something like This Is Perfect, no sequel, that's just me. I'm like, yeah, this doesn't need a sequel, and then I see a sequel, and I come back, and I'm like, why? But anyway,
if you go into something and say this was perfect, it doesn't need a sequel, expect at least 2 more versions of the game coming up, and then it will be ruined.
I know.
That's true.
I know.
Honestly, I don't think Naughty Dog knows what the hell they're doing anymore anyway. So I think it's a 50-50 split that it could be Sony telling them, hey, we got to fix this. And besides, you're going to take that part out. You're going to put this part in. You're going to have our propaganda machine pumping to say, oh, The Last of Us, which was already part of the propaganda machine, that some people will tell you that that's the only reason why it was close to winning at the Game Awards, or if it did, whatever, the other side of that. But, they'll change it, they'll ruin it, and then they'll make 4 more for the PS5.
Yeah, I think Sony's like Disney, where they're like, this is our cash cow. Keep making games. And I won't even get into why I feel Disney's like that. I want my own podcast for that one. Why Disney has destroyed a series that I liked. I want my own podcast for that one, my own show for that one.
I think we know that Disney is like this. I don't know if Sony is exactly like this, because if Sony was like that, they'd only have like 4 games on their system.
That they just bring back like 5 times.
Because they only have 2 or 3 like money-making, like huge IPs, and they don't milk them for all they're worth.
or as far as we know of now.
Could there be, and would it be feasible, or would anybody like an Uncharted Last of Us crossover?
I thought there was weird works about that. Weird rumor that there was something that they would do to that. But then it's like, okay, how? It's like, how would that even happen?
I think you would piss off a lot of people if you crossed over both of them.
Yeah.
Just the way that they're both set up, and the way that their stories have, as far as we know, they have nothing to do with each other. And it'll just be weird just to even see Nathan Drake in a situation where he's because he's fought weirder stuff, but I just think those two are just they just don't fit. Like the puzzle, there's no puzzle piece that could like say, yeah, they can go, and it'll become something that everyone would enjoy. I think it'll just be weird for me as a fan of both series. For me, this is just me speaking. I couldn't see one in the other world. Yeah, I couldn't see either of them in any of those worlds. I just think it'll just kind of. I don't know.
I don't know.
You tilt your camera a little bit to the left, because that freakish thing behind you looks like it's staring at me.
Oh.
The whole time. Like,
I think it's easy. I think it's easy to put Nathan Drake and Ellie in the same game. That you can just put them waiting for a bus or something, and that's easy shit that they could do. And that's the stuff that they usually do to make these games terrible.
Yeah.
But
it would probably be a disaster.
Oh,
absolutely.
An epic, absolute disaster.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got down there?
What you got to show us?
Yeah, I know. I thought it was
CHRONOZ.
like food. I thought he was like gonna start chowing down for a sec because it looked
Took
like
his
an
hat,
aluminum.
took his hat off, opened his bag. Let's see what he brought for
My,
show and tell.
I've made a big order of some Intellivision AMICO stuff, and I'm still waiting on the sweater. I did check; it is coming. But I did get the. I'll show you the jacket. So as you see, I have the shirt this whole time. But let me see the jacket. Has the Running Man
It's a nice,
Oh,
it's a nice
fancy.
jacket. It's a nice
logo on there.
jacket.
So let me
Or sweater.
take my glasses off so I'm knocking down.
It's a nice
So-
sweater.
Does it have that? Does it have that new jacket smell? That's
I
always
think
nice.
It's a nice sweater.
That's not a bad jacket.
Mhm.
Is it a sweater? No, it's a pullover.
Oh, it's a
no, it's a
like-
jacket.
No,
It's
it's
a
a
jacket.
jacket. Oh, it's a
like
jacket.
raincoat kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like a windbreaker jacket thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
So it is kind of, yeah, I like the. So it's awesome. It feels good. I got in 2XL, so it's like perfect. See I like it just sits down a little bit. Still see
Okay.
Miko.
It's not bad.
See the next thing I got is I gotta open this real fast. This is the I'm gonna put it on my laptop most likely. I just wanted to order something small and I got these stickers. So this is the Television Miko
Okay,
sticker.
cool.
So it's
Okay.
gonna go right on my laptop with the other stickers I got.
Nice.
And the other one, I'm gonna have to demonstrate. I'm not gonna show you my feet, so I'm actually gonna take off my socks to show you guys these.
Those are socks.
Yeah, what is
These
that,
actually
socks?
feel really. I mean,
Are those leg warmers?
I was like, what the hell am I looking at there? I was like, what are those socks? I
Is it a koozie?
Oh man.
wouldn't mind an Intellivision koozie. That sounds pretty cool.
Ah, probably would be.
Oh, black and white socks. Oh, look at you.
yeah, these I'll probably end up. I want to go all sporty when I go to the November. What is it? The convention. The
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're gonna be one of those people.
Yeah, they feel really good. It's awesome. I'm just gonna wear these strictly when I'm at some kind of gaming convention or something like that. Like again with the Midwest Gaming Classic.
They're gonna come up to people are gonna come to you, ask you questions. You're gonna look like you work for
Yeah.
television.
Oh yeah, all I need is the pants and the underwears now.
They're gonna be like, what's Tommy Tallarico like?
Yeah. I mean, because you got the t-shirt, you're always wearing a t-shirt. Now you got
Yeah,
the
you're
jacket,
definitely
you
the
got your
rep.
hat,
Yeah,
socks.
you're definitely the rep. You're definitely the rep.
Oh, there's more.
Definitely. And a box. I'm excited. What is it, guys? What we guess? It's a coffee mug. Is it a coffee
Yeah, I was
mug?
gonna say,
can't
I was
even-
gonna say cup.
It looks
I've
like
been
yeah, it
wanting to
looks like
open
a
this
cup
up for weeks.
size.
I've had this for a month. I haven't even opened it.
It looks like a cup size box.
Probably a cup. Ah,
Yep.
it's a coffee
Hey,
mug.
it's a cup.
Coffee mug.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Nice. I was like, it looks like a cup size box too.
This is awesome. I mean,
Are you gonna sip out of that while you're at the convention too? And
Yeah, I'm gonna just take it out of here. You know, put something on there.
Oh man.
I'm gonna
There you
have it
go.
hanging on with a chain. But yeah, this I do like the the cup. Someone can have maybe a hot tea or that I need now, kind of thing. So again, I can't wait for. I'm most excited for the sweater. It just they all came separately in an order. I ordered them together, but just waiting on that. But yeah, I'm just can't wait for the opportunity to play. I don't think anyone else has bought this much merchandise but me.
And all
I-
all that ships separately. I hate it when they do that. That they
Yeah,
send
I
like
started
5 and 6
thinking
things
it's
into six
Bummer that
packages.
I ordered it all together, and it did come separately. But it's just I'm sure they're working hard for it. But yeah, the sweater's what I'm waiting for. The last I did order it.
Boy.
But it's okay. I can wait for it. The jacket still feels awesome. So it's like looks like a hoodie too.
So when are the Intellivision AMICO bed sheets, curtain, door cover? When's all that coming?
What do you say?
When's
He's
the,
asking-
when's your
the blow up
Amico-
logo coming?
When's your
Yeah,
AMICO bed
or
sheets
like
coming in?
the bed
When-
set. Like when are we getting the bed set? When you get that
Yeah,
set?
you're getting
Oh, yeah,
curtains, AMICO curtains.
I'll probably get some. First, I gotta get the television Amico pants, then underpants, and then maybe the bed sheets, then maybe the
gosh.
window sheets.
Lamp cover.
Window sheets.
No, I'm just
You
like.
mean the
really-
curtains?
What the hell are
Window
window
sheets.
sheets?
Curtains. Because technically yes,
stickers for
but
my car.
there's a name for it. Curtains.
Yeah, curtains. You know, I might not be the smartest guy in the world, but I think they're curtains.
Yes, curtains. We'll get the curtains.
Bed sheets.
Bed curtains and
Yeah,
window sheets.
curtains,
window
bed
bed
sheets.
Window bed.
Chronos isn't
Oh, man.
isn't on
Yeah,
feeling
by the
too
way,
good today. So.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel a little bit more better right now as we got into conversation and talking. Because earlier today, man, I was punching at like a feverish kind of feel. But at the moment, I'm hoping it stays mellow like this, where I can just still feel like if I can feel a little better after the stream, then I could maybe finally get some Chrono Trigger in. That's the reason why I came down here is to be alone, play that game for a couple hours. Might be just 2 hours, may not play that long, but yeah. But then back with the Intellivision Amico stuff is like the hype has been really amazing with lately going the YouTube, no, not the YouTube, the Facebook groups. And they got a new guy and new people coming in and helping out, and so it's just really amazing to just to be a part of that and being able to communicate with Phil Adams and Tommy. So I know that later on, as they get more updates going on, talking with Phil yesterday, gonna give it about a month, couple of weeks, and we should have them just to get more back on the wheel with that. So. Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to, as I was playing the original system after I've been playing it recently and just at home and on the side. So I can't wait for the new stuff. So I'm super excited. So either way.
Is there a ballpark release date for it yet?
Oh, 10/10 October.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
10/10, so it's definitely coming out. It's everyone's reserving it. They're making making it work. So this is the year, so I'm excited for them, and again, just playing it. I'm sure that I'll be able to stream it and show it around. And they're already in Texas doing. They did a showcase, and people have been trying it. So I did a video on that on the television, on the YouTube channel. So it's really nice to see that people are really enjoying the opportunity that they're getting. So I can't wait for my opportunity to play. So super excited for that. So I'm actually feeling relaxed. As you can tell.
Good.
I feel kind of cool with this jacket. I feel big now. I'm with the big guns now.
I know you do. You look like a CEO employee straight up.
Yeah,
I say definitely a rap.
Run
say
with that
definitely
thug
rap.
Amico crowd. There's badass guys who want to play Pong.
Yeah. Like one of the cool television bosses everybody wants to hang out with. If they got a problem, they come to you. Yeah.
People are gonna be like, well, I the only thing that's I've been recently going to a lot of GameStops in the past 2 months or so, and it's only disappointing that a lot of these guys, every GameStop within my area, they're kind of clueless. They don't know, or they will know some, but they don't have nothing hanging up. Only some are, but it's still kind of like the guys act like they don't know.
Yeah, but if they don't get shipped anything from Intellivision, they're not going to put it out. I mean, Intellivision has to identify what GameStops they want to send this advertising stuff to.
True.
And then if they don't determine that, the fourth GameStop in a 5-mile radius in Cleveland, for example, may not get everything they have on Intellivision. I mean, it's like a two-way street. If Intellivision doesn't declare that they're in a high density area for gaming and stuff, they're not going to send it to GameStop. And if the GameStop's going to close or something in a month or two, they're not going to send GameStop advertising for a thing that's coming out in October.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You never know when that's going to happen, man. Those GameStops just seem to disappear without. It's there one day. You're in good with the manager. You got stuff supposedly coming in or get stuff ordered, and then you go there the next week and it's just dark. It's like, where did it go? I don't know. It's a weird time for brick and mortar stores. That's why they're trying like all these different avenues. It's like you go to a GameStop back in 2000s, and you're like game systems, games, maybe a few game related knickknacks. There you go. Now you walk into a GameStop and it's like game systems, not so many games, but we've covered the game sections with toys with a pretty decent markup on that. It's like you might be able to get it easier on Amazon. Just GameStop is a weird place for me right now. I haven't been to one in a while because I don't really know what I want there. It's like I can order my consoles from GameStop or from Best Buy or from online, whatever. I haven't gone into a GameStop because last time I was in a GameStop, they just wanted me to buy cool action figures, which I'm all about. I'm all about some cool action figures. But
some of them got good stuff, some of them don't.
They're
It
just
depends on the store.
I
It really
guess
does.
maybe I just don't
Really
have a
does.
good one around me. There's one in a mall kind of close to me, and then there's one in a town over. There used to be one right across the street, and I'd go to it all the time. But it it was one of those that just vanished.
Yeah.
Signed, gone. Lease.
sucks.
It within days, within less than 5 days of me seeing it open. It was really
That's-
weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had one similar like that in the mall that not too many people went into. And it was a good GameStop, and I knew that staff and stuff. And then you got the email. It's like, oh, we're moving, we're shutting down. Your new GameStop location will be here, which is it's not bad store either. But it's like it's not the one that you've been going to for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that way too.
Yeah, because you get a rapport with people that
Mhm.
work there, especially management and stuff like that. And you're just like,
Yeah.
I like coming here because of you, and then gone. So
Yeah. Or like the
It's a shame.
staff has just changed up, and you're like, crap, this person who I used to go to all the time used to hook me up, and they're gone. I'm like, crap, I don't have that same kind of hook up here
That's
anymore.
what
I know.
But like,
Hate when that happens.
I had two GameStops that were like that. Like if I went to, I would like, which one I want to go to today, or which one do I feel like going to today to get this? I'm gonna go here because they'll hook me up with any discounts or give me some off ones if I trade it. Like I think I traded in something and they screwed up the trade, or no, like something happened where one of my rewards, I claimed my rewards points for something, but then they said I used it, and I was like, I never used it. And I went to one GameStop, and they totally just pushed me out the door. Like, we can't do anything by. And I'm like, seriously? So I went to one where I knew someone there. I think I went to school with him, but I don't remember that much. But I went there and I told him my situation. He was like, that sucks. I was like, yeah, they didn't do anything. And he was like, you know what? I got you. So I think he gave me my points back and then refunded me the full price and then hooked me up with something else. And I'm like,
Oh, good.
I'm coming here now. It's just like, I'm coming here now because it's those people who take the extra mile. They're like, oh, okay, that sucks. You know what? I got you. And it's good on them too, because then that means that you just made a customer who's going to continue to come back to your store because you did this.
Mm-hmm.
So
and not so like just piff, like haha with the rules. Like, well, you didn't. Anthony at the store I'm talking about, my good friend Anthony that disappeared off the planet mysteriously. Every time there was like some pre-order swag on a game that I bought that I didn't pre-order, he would always hook me up with the pre-order swag, whether it be a code for digital stuff or like a sticker pin or whatever. He'd always like, that was super cool. That's why I always went to that store. And when it disappeared, I felt like, that's it. I'm going online.
That's what I did when I worked at GameStop. Like when people, like I would kind of hook people up with stuff. Like I think I have a Gears of War beanie here that I got from when I was working at Toys R Us. It was when Gears 4 came out. When Gears 4 came out, they had a whole bunch of these, and I took one, And then supposedly we had like a whole bunch. And my manager's like, oh, we're going to charge $10 for them. I'm like, really? So then when people ask me, hey, do you have any more help? Any more beanies? I would have like a stack of them under my register. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure, here. Like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like, you're supposed to charge $10, but I don't know how we're going to do that. So
is that why you got fired?
Yeah, that's probably why you're not working there anymore.
I quit for like stupid reasons. It was a dumb. I quit, got another job, but then there was other reasons why I quit because it was okay. So my Toys R Us was like at GameStop. If you don't get pre-orders, they started to taking away your hours. So Toys R Us, like if you don't sell insurance for the games or if you don't sell credit cards, you don't get someone to sign up for a credit card, you're going to lose hours. I'm like, that's stupid because who's going to sign up for a credit card that has 26% APR? Who's going to do that?
Nope.
Not
nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No one's going to do that. So who would do that? And then they tried to say, oh, well, we can give them 15%. Sometimes I'll tell people like, you can sign up for this and you'll get 50. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I can. I say, I'll tell you what, if you sign up for it and you don't get it, I'll still give you the 15% off. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. Half the people don't even apply or to qualify, and I'll still give them, because how you know is like it will give them a credit card, like the number and all that stuff on the receipt. And if it doesn't, it's like a short little receipt that say we'll review it, which means that you didn't get it. So whenever I see those, I'm like, I'll give you 15% anyway. And then that's why everyone came to my register, because I would hook them up anyway. I say, oh, you didn't get it? Don't worry, I'll give you 50% anyway. But I'm not gonna force people to get a credit card that's gonna 26%. Who's gonna sign up for something like that? No one.
That's
No.
ridiculous.
And the fact that they pushed that on people was stupid. So that's why
That
I was
was-
like,
That was a GameStop thing, or
no, it was Toys R Us.
Toys
That
R
sounds
Us?
like a Toys R Us thing.
It was
Yeah.
a Toys R Us.
Oh, I
So-
didn't know that. They can keep that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Gross.
but I was that kind of employee at Toys R Us, so I hook people up with stuff, or like I would, or like same thing with digital codes or something like that. If we had like a free digital code for something, I'd be like, oh, here you go, just take it. We have so
Yeah.
many, like we have so extras, just you're good. But yeah, that's
Yeah, he would pull open. He would sell me the game. Like I'd if I came a couple days after it was released, never pre-ordered it, but I was like, hey, I really wanted to play this. He'd open up a drawer that was just full of cards with these codes on them. It's like, what the hell are you going to do with them anyway? If you're supposed to give them away for pre-orders, all your pre-orders are obviously gone because it's a day or two after, and you got all these, he was just being super cool and giving me one. And I guarantee you he got in trouble for that shit because some regional district manager came in and counted the cards. Like there's 6 missing from yesterday. And there's not 6 pre-order pickups. I'm sure he got in trouble for that stuff. That's just the way those businesses work.
They used to do that with the Pokemon codes all the time, where people were like,
Yeah.
here's 10 or 20 of them. Like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, like I came in once when they were doing that, and they gave me like 3, but it didn't matter because I couldn't use it. I couldn't use it because they would say you already have this, and it's like I was giving it to someone else. I go to games like, here's 3 for Diancie. I'm like, oh, sweet, get 3 Diancies.
Nope.
No, you get 1, but you have 2 other extra Diancie codes you can give to somebody else.
Nice.
Oh man.
But all right. Well, I think we're gonna have to call it an episode tonight, unless we have something else we can talk about for another hour and a half.
Nope.
Not for another hour and a half.
Not
no.
another hour and a half.
Yeah.
I was going to bring up the only thing I was going to bring up real quick is I've been playing a game called Enlisted. It's a World War II shooter. It's super cool. It's free. It plays really well, and the neat mechanic is that you can play in teams, but each person that plays is a squad in whatever side that you Axis or allies. It's World War II, and what I thought was super cool about it is that, so say I get 3 people that I want to play with. Well, they're each a squad, and the squad consists of like 5 or 6 people, so if you're going through and you get killed, your character's permadead, but you take control of the next person back in the squad that was like basically a bot before that, following you around and doing other stuff. So you just take control of that person until all 6 of your people have been downed, and then you're out of the game. So I thought that was a really interesting mechanic, and I'm going to keep playing that. And I might stream it at some point. But yeah, it's called Enlisted. It's free. And I thought that was a really good twist on just the constant respawn, kind of deal. You got 6 people in your team. One of them dies, you take over for the next person until all 6 of your team are dead. So that's pretty neat. That's not near. That's a summary. I know we've been on for a little over an hour and a half now, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Something that I kind of, started playing this week that I thought was pretty neat. It's like, I feel like, sometimes too, like maybe towards the end here, if we were playing something currently that we really like, maybe we should, throw it out there so maybe other people can find out about it. And Enlisted.
What system? What is it? What's it run on Steam?
It's on PC. It's on Xbox. It's not on Steam. You have to go to the website to get it.
Okay.
But it is on Xbox too, and it's free. So. Okay. Free. Did I mention it was free?
You did say it was free. That's the best part.
Free.
What I do want to say is that I wish this day would have been better for myself. Feeling like shit, half the day today, but slowly getting better. But either way, it is the anniversary week of the Gamerz Realm since it started a year ago. Actually, April 13th. So it started off with a small group, and then it built up, and people are here, people left, but I got the best crew so far, and it's kind of my way or to appreciate something that we've all created together. I didn't do this by myself. I did it with you guys. I couldn't just sit down and do it on my own. Just the idea sprung up, and people were talking about it, and it built up to today. And I think I know we got better days to come, and we'll get back on that game night. And
yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll have some more voice actors or whatever along the way. I do want to focus a lot on our conversations like we have today, and we do that a lot. We'll go into game nights, and we'll have better nights with that. And again, it does feel good. Something that we built together, even with the audience and people coming by and showing support and along the way. So it's pretty amazing to have. I want to thank the entire group. I want to thank especially you guys who showed up today, Awaken, to Chichuki, to Kotetsu. You guys have shown a lot of major support, to Chichuki since day one. Since you guys started, you guys are amazing people. And like I said, I couldn't do this on my own at all. I can't do this without you guys.
Yes, you could have. You could have done it on your own.
Nah. Not like it feels.
Nah, he needs his best friend here to make things roll.
He'd just be opening Intellivision merchandise for an hour and a half every week.
It feels good to be connected with a good crew, and because, like I said, it makes it more interesting. And I think I've tried some of these on my own, and it's okay, but you need to hear other people's opinions. And it's fun when you guys make fun of me and joke around with me, or we have fun. We make fun of Tetsu for him loving.
It's
Stadia.
Real fun. It's real fun where people make fun of you. It's real fun.
Yeah, it's
real fun.
Makes me laugh every time. I don't know why. We hear it every week.
Sure does.
Here we are 6 months later, and I'm still getting a chuckle out of it.
Yeah, people are laughing at it. I don't care.
I think it's a whole lot of fun just to, like I said, as we keep on going, there'll be much more exciting times to come, especially when the AMICO comes out.
You should get a Stadia. You should get a Stadia and send it to Chuki.
Send it to me. No,
Tetsu should get it and either just have it and have it somewhere in the background, just so
I'll just get it in spite of him. So like
honestly,
every time
that would end
it every time just to kind of like there's no use of you making fun of me anymore,
right?
Because I have it here. Because it's like I've accepted the fact that I have it now, so you have to accept the fact that I have it now.
Nah,
so
it's
can't
not
say
gonna happen.
anything else.
No, the thing that we should do is we got to make the T-shirt that says Kotetsu has a Stadia, and we got to do something with that at some point. We got to think of something like that.
That's fine with that because people are gonna say, "Who's Kotetsu?" and they're gonna go on my channel and see what I'm about.
Honestly, I think they're gonna ask, "What's a Stadia?" more
it's a
than
win-win.
what's
It's a
Kotetsu.
win-win for me.
I think they're gonna ask more. What's a Stadia? They're not gonna ask who Kotetsu is.
Could go both ways.
And then Google's gonna be like, "Oh, who's this Kotetsu guy?" And then they're gonna have me be a rep, and I'm gonna wear my own shirts around. It's a win-win for me. All right, so please make those T-shirts. Make the T-shirts. I'm gonna turn it into a huge positive.
I'd wear
I'm
a
turning
Tetsu
into a
Kansas
huge
Stadium
positive.
shirt. I'd wear it.
I'm gonna make it a huge positive. Make it profitable.
Yeah,
we should all screw around and make a shirt that has our name on it and says we have something.
Oh man.
I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I mean, maybe I'll just go. Right now it's like 9:30 here.
Go relax.
Yeah,
get better.
Go.
Yeah.
Get
Get
better. Take
better.
a break. Go. Chill,
lots of
drink.
water,
better.
lots of rest.
Yeah, I'm just
Go get better.
Man, I gotta at least get 1 hour in a Chrono Trigger. Damn it.
Well,
But
then
if
play an
I
hour Chrono Trigger and go to bed.
And go to bed. Yes. Go to
stop
bed.
thinking, man, just-
Dr. Chuki has spoken.
Yes,
What-
Dr. Chuki,
Yes.
PhD, XXY, TKX,
Yes.
all those letters after
MD
medical.
and Mark. Yes, PhD, MD, and Dr. Mario, and like 100 hours of Dr. Mario. So he has the PhD,
Oof.
the MD title, all that. So he says, "Go to bed, dude."
Take this 1 hour of Chrono Trigger and go to bed.
We'll see. It's, yeah, maybe shoot. I'll probably just end up.
I go to bed.
Go to bed.
No Chrono Trigger today. Go to bed.
No.
What time will we start?
man.
What time are we doing next week? Just for everyone who's watching. What time is next week's episode? Do we know yet?
The usual time, probably.
Same time. Do we
So
have
you
a
guys,
guest?
You guys want to go straight and do a game night next week or the last week?
We'll figure it out. I think we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll have it this month, but either next week or the week after. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well,
Yeah,
do we have anybody lined up for the next 2 weeks?
We have nobody right now.
Okay.
People
Well, then
are-
either
Mhm.
then either one is fine. Then it's
Yeah.
more just asking so the viewers that are watching know what time we're gonna
Mhm.
actually be on next week.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
a couple people have already asked. They're like, "Are we going to play Among Us sometime soon?" In the chat, it's like, no,
Yeah,
sorry,
No.
it's all right.
no.
Things happen.
It just,
man. Things
you know,
happen.
Technical difficulties, things. Yeah, it didn't work out this week,
Yeah.
but we're definitely going to get you. I mean,
Yeah,
next
it
week
was
would
one
be
of those-
fine with me.
That's
Yeah,
because they just
same.
wanted to murder us in cold blood. That's
Don't we all?
Oh, man.
I feel like I'm gonna walk
Oh,
in that
man.
game and die every time.
Well, let's
It's very easy to pick up.
It's easy to
really
pick
is
up.
You'll be
easy to
fine.
pick up.
And
It's
if you
really
want
easy
to,
pick up.
it'll be super easy for us to get on Discord, just on a private call if we want to spend, an hour or two at some point during the week and just play a private game. So people, like Chronos, you can get a feel of it. So when we do the
Mhm.
stream, you're not going in completely blind. We can totally
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah. Agreed.
and we can
But,
stream it on Discord or whatever.
Agreed.
Well, we're gonna wrap up tonight's episode. Was this episode 62 of the Gamerz
Yeah.
Realm podcast?
62.
Panel, your final thoughts. We'll start with Katetsu.
I
Just say
have none
goodbye.
this time.
Yeah,
I
say
said-
goodbye. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
put you on
I have
the
a
spot.
goodbye. No, honestly, it's been a trying day for me. So I'm like, so when I was unprepared for any topics besides talking about Ninja Turtles, and that sprung up some of this. But thank you guys for coming today and understanding that game night is not tonight, but it will be sometime this month.
Okay. Awaken. What do you got?
Like I said earlier, there was a feeling about today. There was a smell in the air that just made me think that something wasn't going to go right today. And it was Among Us, but we are going to play Among Us hopefully next week. But until then, you can play Enlisted. It's World War II squad first-person shooter, and it's free.
Are you getting paid to advertise this game?
No. No, but thank you guys for coming by on this impromptu, just kind of a roundtable discussion that we did, expecting a game night. It is still the 1 year anniversary. And I've been around for 6 going on 7 months, and I enjoy every week. So, enjoy the hell out of all you guys.
I'll go next. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. Like we've all said, it's the 1 year anniversary. I don't think we could have done it without anyone that's popped in. I mean, I didn't start with the show at the beginning because of all pandemic stuff. I got in
bugging you
a couple of weeks, maybe like a month or two after. But it's fun to hang out, fun to chat, fun to make fun of Katetsu for owning a Stadia. But you know, other than that, I feel like it's a nice little weekly thing that we all do, and we will play game night either next week or the following week, so you can stab us all in the back all you want.
Yes.
Yeah. Or cut our heads off.
and don't forget
or cut your heads off.
It's
don't
all.
forget to get your AMICO merchandise.
And look like that. You too can look like CHRONOZ.
Don't forget your socks, everything. All right.
Do you have anything else for that, or is that your going goodbye for the 1 anniversary show of our podcast?
I was saying thank you to the entire group, everyone who's been on the show, for all voice actors, from all the YouTubers and everyone who's been around in the Gamerz realm, who gave us the time and the chance to interview them. And again, the biggest thanks, of course, to the people who are watching, people like Ryan Drayson and others, and Luigi Guy and
Luigi
DJ
Guy's
Rio,
out
and
there.
people who've always popped up. And especially and it's happy anniversary to you guys. You guys.
1 year.
1
year, and I think we'll have another big one coming up. So as we are 40 in, so thank you guys.
Hopefully we will make it to
We'll
2.
have 2 years. Yeah.
All right. Well, for the Gamerz Realm podcast, we're signing off. So everyone have a good Friday night and enjoy your weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, we are off.